Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Colin Goldberg from Natural Disasters class, and today I will be presenting a slideshow to you guys on my project of the Big Thompson Canyon flood of 2013. So first off, why did I choose the Big Thompson Canyon flood of 2013 specifically? I chose to do my project on this one specifically because this happened. I remember this happening on my birthday, September 12th, is when it really hit Loveland, where I went to school at the time. I was very young, still in elementary school. And I remember going home early from school thinking, it was the best day ever, right? Going home early is the best thing ever. But but then I come to realize that this impacted a lot of families, including a couple of mine who lived up in the canyon at the time. And I remember this one very well out when it comes to natural disasters. So the Big Thompson Canyon flood was a flood that started in the Boulder County area on September 11th and continued on for about a full week. And the floods impacted any cities and towns of Boulder County, so Boulder, Longmont, Lyons, and then Larimer County as well in Loveland and Estes Park and any other small towns that uh, yeah, they're up in the mountains that lead from Loveland to Estes Park. I have a couple maps down here kind of showing you exactly kind of a good representation of where the floods happened in Larimer County from Loveland to Estes Park. Drake is a good example of a small mountain town that just got completely washed away. Cedar Cove, um, and then over here in the Boulder County area, it shows, Lyons and Longmont in that area as well. Before I move on, I wanted to show you exactly what Highway 34 specifically looked like, because this was one of the bigger areas that just got completely destroyed here. So the top picture here is a picture of Highway 34 going from Loveland to Estes Park, like on the way, going through the mountain towns and all of that. And the picture down below here is what it looked like after the flood. Uh, just completely destroyed, no road at all, and it was crazy. So when it comes to the physical science behind this event, it is considered a hydrogeologic event, and the definition of that is an occurrence that involves the interaction between water and the geologic environment. So when you put two and two together here, this is obviously a natural disaster that involves water, which involves flooding, and that's basically what it is a flood. Um, and the specific shapes of private ditches are a big reason why water influence began in the first place. Um, when it came to the just a lot of rainwater just pouring down everywhere. There were three different types of hazards that occurred during this event. We'll be talking about the physical hazards, environmental hazards, and the economic hazards as well. When it comes to the physical hazards, extensive damage to roads and bridges was obviously a huge deal, as you saw in the picture before, as it made emergency responders to come up with very creative ways to help others out. And it also destroyed homes and businesses, putting people at risk of injury or death. Only a total of 6 total deaths and 2 people missing happened, but that's one too many. When it comes to the environmental hazards, the floodwaters carry debris, sewage, and all the other hazardous materials. Um, can pose a risk to human health and the environment. There was also soil erosion and landslides, which can lead to further environmental damage as well. When it came to economic hazards, it caused significant damage to infrastructure, homes, and businesses, which results in huge economic losses for the community and individuals. Um, the impacts of this flood were significant for the communities of northern Colorado. The flood itself covered around 450 square miles, and in comparison, that is bigger than the size of 10 Rocky Mountain National Parks. And if you've ever been to Rocky Mountain National Park, you know, put 10 of those together, you can only imagine how big that is. The flood lasted for 7 days, about a week, and flooded 20 different counties. This also caused about $4 billion in damages all across the entire area when it came to buildings, objects, bridges, roads, homes, etc. This flood also caused major Highway 34 in between Estes Park and Loveland to be washed away. Small towns like Drake, Glen Haven, and Cedar Park were isolated from the destroyed highway. Like said before, but that falls under the impact category. The mitigation efforts, a lot has been learned from the previous flood that happened in the same area back in 1976. Uh, we were better prepared for this one in 2013 when it came to giving out alerts. Obviously, technology is a lot better back in 2013 than it was in the 70s. However, there's still a lot that can be done to prepare for the possible next one. The biggest thing that needs to be used is communication. That includes emergency contact with FEMA, the U.S. Army, the Civil Air Patrol, and the Colorado National Guard. That way we can use more helicopters, satellite imagery, and real-time GIS data to coordinate rescue efforts. Recommendations, once again, it was handled better this go around that since the 1976 flood. However, the biggest thing is better predictability for events to happen. This is specifically talking about Boulder County because most of the 6 deaths in the flood have occurred in Boulder County, and according to my Thousand-Year Reign book that has been cited, I want to say 4 or 5 of them came from Boulder County because of lack of awareness of the flood and how much rain was going to be poured down, which led to drivers out on the road, and them getting washed away and passing away. And so Boulder County specifically has to have better predictability for events to happen. And Larimer County, they had good predictability just because of all of the rain that happened in Boulder County. Continue developing the technology to better predict the future of the weather, of course, and also a big one, as you can see with this picture down below, stop building houses that are on the side of the canyon next to the river. Because if you drive up on Highway 34 on your way to Estes Park, you'll notice a few houses on the side that are up on the mountain and close to the river. As you can see, there's barely any houses there, but there used to be a lot more houses there before this 2013 flood, as most of them have been washed away. And just in the area alone, it is not a good idea to be building houses right next to the river because sea or water rising can be a big problem. The risk assessment, it doesn't happen very often as this flood was considered a 10,000 year event, which means the next 10,000 years it is a 1% chance of a flood happening, which is a low chance. Thank you guys for listening. These are my bibliography pages here. And yeah, thanks for listening once again.